Welcome to my channel on the best of fantasy. This is the week that was. I'd like to begin by thanking everyone who watched the previous episode of the week that was, and also thank you to all of you who left comments in the comment section, and again thank you to all of you who left suggestions for the name of my new chat show. I'm going to be emulating some better booktubers out there like Jimmy from the Fantasy Network, who does Chatting with Nuts, and Mike from Mike's Book Reviews, who does chats about nothing, and plenty of others. It's just, I think it's such a fun thing to get together with my fellow booktubers every once in a while. I'll try to do something maybe once a month or so. I don't think it would be any more regular than that, but it's something that I think is a great idea for the channel, and just talking about fantasy, talking about the books we love, being part of the community. So I'm very much looking forward to getting something going there, and there's all sorts of people I want to invite. So I'm very excited, and thank you again for all your suggestions. Many of them made me smile. Suggestions for the title of my chat show. I'm ultimately, though, going to go, perhaps appropriately, with the suggestion offered by my very first guest, Mike from Mike's Book Reviews, who suggested the title Dear Dr. Fantasy. As in, Dear Dr. Fantasy, play us a tune, something to make us all happy. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So apologies to Steve Winwood, and apologies to Traffic, and apologies to all of you for what I just did. But so those of you who know the tune will know what I was trying to sing, and the rest of you can look it up on YouTube. It's Dear Mr. Fantasy by Traffic. Great tune. So yes, the new show will be Dear Dr. Fantasy, and I'm very excited for it. So what did I do this week? I did a wonderful video with my excellent buddy A.P. Canavan from A Critical Dragon. We had a wonderful chat about a Malazan poem, specifically None But Strangers, and this is the epigraph to chapter 12 of Toll the Hounds. I had a great time, and I know these poem discussions are not my most watched videos. In fact, they are, in terms of view count, kind of the stinkers of my channel, but the people who watch them really seem to love them, and I love them. So I'm going to keep doing them. And hopefully, over time, more and more people, as they read the books, might be curious to check out our thoughts on the poems. But I just find them so wonderful, and it's like they're tiny little gems that are somehow indicative of the entire series, right? So I love them, and they're beautiful. And Erikson is a tremendous poet, so I really enjoy the poem videos that I do. What else did I do? Well, I've been reading Toll the Hounds, and I am making kind of slow progress through Toll the Hounds. It is not a quick read. It is a fantastic read. It is a transformative read. It is an engaging read, but it is not a quick read. First of all, it's a big fat book, and there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in there that I like. It's my kind of writing in many ways. So, but it's something that I find myself often pausing and thinking about, and it's not something that you can bulldoze through. Not me, anyway. It's been a little while since we've been reading it, but AP and I will eventually get through Toll the Hounds and have our spoiler-free chat on my channel and the spoiler-filled chat on his channel, A Critical Dragon, as usual. And I'm very much looking forward to that. That probably won't happen next week, but I'm guessing maybe the week after. We'll see how things go. The fact is, we're both busy. We have lives, we have jobs and all that. And so it's just, it's a matter of getting the time to do it. And I've been busy with, I'm happy to say, writing as well. I've been working on my writing. And occasionally I think I'll talk about this. But if something happens on the writing front, something as in publishing, I'll probably talk about a lot more, but it is something that I'm just actively doing. Just so you all know, I am writing all the time and enjoying myself thoroughly, working on my fantasy trilogy. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, it's something that once in a while I'll bring up. So it's something that I started way back in 2004, so maybe some of you weren't even born then. But I remember the first thing I did was draw a map, how stereotypically fantasy of me, right? I drew a map of the world. I did a lot of world building. I created the place. I wrote about it. I made a mythology. I made a history, religions, all that stuff, and had a blast doing it. And then I started writing a story, and it's been 17, 18 years since I started all that, but I've enjoyed every moment of it. And of course, it's been on and off. I do get busy during the semesters teaching, and I don't have time when I'm reading a lot of papers and stuff to do any writing. But it's something I've definitely been doing during the summers and the winter break and all of that. And sometimes when I can squeeze it in during the semesters. But I've been working on it lately. I find it addictive, actually, to write, and I'm sure many of you relate to that. It is absolutely just one of those things you can do where you're in the zone and hours can go by and you don't even realize it. That's when you know you're in your sweet spot when that happens. And so that happens to me a lot when I'm writing. And I just enjoy being immersed in the world that I've created. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. So I also did a video essay. And it was on the topic of reviewing and rating books, and I explained why I don't give stars to any of the books that I review. And I think that went pretty well, that particular video. I was very happy with the reception to it. A lot of people who do use stars left comments in the videos, and I was very appreciative of those comments because I don't think that stars are bad or anything like that. In fact, I think they have a very fun purpose sometimes, and they can be maybe collectively also looked at. I have my some hesitation in looking at thousands and thousands of star ratings and averaging them and that sort of thing. But I don't think that's completely useless. So, but it's not something I do, and I explained that in my video where I talked about going to a college where there are no grades as well. So, so that was a lot of fun engaging with people in the comments on that particular topic. And also AP released a video on a similar topic about reviewing, and he's done a couple of videos. They're absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen them, I highly suggest, even though he is my nemesis, I do suggest you check out his thoughts on reviewing. He is Dr. Fireballs for a reason, you know, so. And yeah, so check out his video on the topic as well. I also was involved in a chat. I mentioned this in the last week that was, but the chat hadn't happened yet, and now it's happened, and it's on Abby Salter's channel. I had a great time talking with Abby about American Gods, and this was the Shelf Space Book of the Month. And I just think Neil Gaiman's such a great writer, and I really enjoy that particular book a lot. American Gods is such a rich book, thematically speaking, so it's one that I love to talk about. It teaches really well, and I have taught it in my fantasy novels course several times. So I really enjoy talking with Abby about it. And so yeah, check out that discussion on her channel, Abby Salter. And I also had another chat with... speaking of my nemesis, Professor Fireballs, another chat with AP on episode 4 of Wheel of Time, the television series. So I'm really happy to say that I enjoyed episode 4 a lot. To me, it was the richest episode so far in the series that I have seen. I have not yet seen episode 5. Probably by the time you guys are seeing this, I will have seen episode 5. I'm looking forward to it very much. After episode 4 showed so much promise, I really enjoyed the amount of character building they did in episode 4. After the rush of the first 3 episodes, the abruptness of the transitions, I really appreciated how we had some quieter moments in episode 4 where there was character building, relationship building, some great dialogue, some nice exchanges between the characters that gave me a sense of depth in the characters and in the world. So I really did like that a lot. I'm so glad that happened, and that promise is something I hope to see realized in the rest of the season. That would be fantastic. So yeah, I'm on board with the Wheel of Time show. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I admit I was kind of a skeptic about the show. And then I saw Mike and Madison talking about it, and I thought, maybe it could be good. And then the first 3 episodes had me sort of, they were okay, enough for me to keep going. And then episode 4, wow, I thought it was just great. So I will be talking about episode 5 with AP. That video will be appearing on my channel on Tuesday if all goes well. So I know we're a bit late in the putting out the videos on the episodes thing, but you know, we have to get together and you know, all that, and we're not in a rush. We're not in a rush or anything like that. So it's just fun to engage, to talk about it with each other, and to hear what all of you guys think as well. So another thing I will be doing is my chat. This video on the new series that I'm doing, Dear Dr. Fantasy. I hope that if all goes well, I will have that out on Thursday. So that is going to be my chat with Mike from Mike's Book Reviews. I am very excited to be doing that. We'll be talking actually this weekend, and I'll be putting out the video on Thursday. Hopefully we'll have a great time talking about an array of things, whatever comes up. Mike's just such a great guy, and he's been so supportive of not only me, but many other smaller booktubers. And it's just a lot of fun to chat with him. Very knowledgeable person about our genre, for sure. So, and also science fiction and horror. So, great person to talk to about all that stuff. So, very much looking forward to having that chat with Mike. Should be out on Thursday. And yeah, that's all I have planned for next week, and I'm excited for all of it. I'm trying to stick to a 3-day format for the channel, where I'm doing a release on Tuesday, a release on Thursday, and a release on Saturday. I'm going to try to be semi-professional about this and regular and all of that. So putting a little more effort into it. Someday maybe I'll learn how to make a decent thumbnail even. So, one step at a time, I suppose, right, folks? So anyway, I do appreciate all of your support very, very much. It's so much fun engaging with you guys and learning from all of you. So I deeply appreciate all the interactions. And until next time.